Let's see the wonderful things we can say about Whitby today. So, like my other market update videos, we'll have a look at what happened a year ago in January in Whitby. We'll have a look at the most current month we have in the Toronto Real Estate Board stats, which is January 22, and then we'll compare that with what happened in December as well. So, we're going to start with the numbers. So, across all home types, so this is inclusive of, pardon me, condos, semis, towns, links, detached, everything. We had 143 new listings come to market in Whitby in January 21. We had 100 sales through the month and 62 active listings. And the active listings are essentially what didn't sell and carry over into the next month. December, we had 102 new listings come to market, 127 sales, so more listings sold than actually came on the market. And 13 active listings. So if we would see the month, if I had the month November here, you would likely see that there was a corresponding drop to these extra 25 deals that had to be made up from this active listing inventory. January 22, we had 171 new listings come to market, 117 sales, and 51 active listings. So, January to January, you're actually looking fairly similar, right? You got, you got less new listings, but certainly the upswing happens in January. Sales are not too far off, and then the active listing inventory, again, not too far off. January 21, 917,000 was the average sale price across all home types in Whitby. That climbed to 1,087,000 in December 21. Currently trending at 1,278,000 is the average sale price across all home types in Whitby. Sales to new listings ratio, also known as the absorption rate, tells us out of the homes coming on the market each month, what is the percentage of them they're actually selling? And it's calculated by looking at sales divided into new listings. So it's not taking into account the active inventory that's carrying over month to month. So 69.9% of the homes that came out in January 21 in Whitby sold. 124.5% of the homes that came out in December sold, or stated a different way, the market sold 24.5% more homes than actually came on the market. And again, you're seeing that through the numbers in, you had 102 new listings, but 127 sales. Headed back into January 22, we have 68.4. So we're seeing a reduction in half, and this is pretty consistent across all of the markets that I operate in. We're seeing this absorption rate drop about in half, and really the reason we're seeing it is considerably more inventory has come out, but the buyer sales have stayed around the same, or in some cases even actually reduced, like in this case. And so we're always going to see the sales to new listings ratio and the months of inventory go opposed to each other, right? So as the inventory levels start to climb, as you're seeing here, the absorption rate is going to decline. So let's have a look at months of inventory. Months of inventory tells us that if no other homes came on the market after today at the current rate of buying or the current rate of consumption, how long would it take to completely deplete the inventory? And it's calculated looking at the active listings divided by sales. So it's not taking into account this new listing inventory. So months of inventory was 0.6 in January 21, 0.1 in December. 0.1 literally is a couple of days. And then January 22, we're at 0.4. So again, you're always going to see these two opposed to each other. Excuse me, I might just continue to roll with that, pardon me. So you're going to see these two continue to roll with each other. So you got 68.4%. So the absorption rate's coming down, and then the inventory level is coming up. Sale price to list price ratio, 112% of asking. So home selling 12.6% over asking in January 21. Home selling 20.9% over asking in December. Currently trending at 131. Now, I mention this in a lot of my videos. You always have to take this number with a grain of salt. I mean, when you start seeing wild numbers like 20 and 30% over asking price, typically what we've been seeing the last year is homes have been intentionally underpriced or undervalued. I don't want to say the word misrepresented, that makes it sound ugly, but homes are being put out at not what their true value would be, or not what the expectation of the seller would be or the agent. So like a $799 list price, but they know the house is going to sell for $1,001,000 or $1,002,000, that kind of thing. So this number generally in the market we're in right now is largely, I would say, overstated. So I wouldn't get too excited, basing all of your buying or selling decision on that number. It really depends on the strategy and how you're going to structure your home, you know, in terms of the strategy. Are you going to underprice it? You're going to put it out at an intentional value of what it's really worth. So again, it depends on how you put your house out there. So I wouldn't really pay too much attention to that number, just my personal opinion. Days on market to get a home sold, 9 a year ago. 7 in December, currently trending at 5. So we're seeing the days on market counter go down, which would tell me that most of these sales are actually happening from this new listing inventory. And, you know, when you start seeing, you know, in a market like this, it's super hot, but it's actually quite, you know, 7 days on market, I would suggest, and again, you're seeing it through the numbers, that some of these sales had to be pulled from this active listing inventory that may have been on the market for 2 or 3 weeks, and that's going to drag that number back up. So, I know there's a lot of information here. I do my best to break it down as best I can, but if you have any questions about how this information would pertain to your house, or if you're considering making a change in 2022, I would love the opportunity to connect.